Okay, I'm going to call the meeting to order. The first thing we need to do is approve the agenda.
So moved.
Jill and Curtis. Moved and seconded to approve the agenda. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, I need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Ryan and Sean. Moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? All right, recognitions.
Yeah, I want to take a moment and recognize our principals. They've worked really, really hard on communication, and they do an exceptional job of putting information out to the people, to the kids, and to the staff members. But I particularly want to give a shout out to Mr. Johnson for his Monday morning Kicking It with Johnson. If you've not seen them, you need to watch them. They're pretty good. He takes the opportunity to tell what's going on, what's coming down the pike. But then they're working on empathy, and so every week they pick out a couple of people, kids and adults, who have done special little things here and there, and they highlight it. So nice job for an interim high school principal, and you feel tiddly-boo about that, don't you, Mr. Johnson? Yes, you do. Anyway, shout out to you. Nice job.
Thanks, guys. All right, let's see there. Let's move to financials. Mike.
Okay, if you turn to page 3 or 4, down in the middle, High Plains Co-op, our quarterly payment to them, $89,442.25. And then down at the bottom, you'll see Keller Leopold, and there's several payments, but over on the top of page 5, the total of $118,192. And that's what we paid for our property insurance. And they did adjust it for us because we're changing our time period on it, so.
Yeah, previously, the fiscal year on insurance was October to October, and we thought, well, that makes no sense to run 3 different years, so now it's set up with our budget year.
Then down below that, Langford Enterprises, $7,470 to refinish the gym floors. On page 7, in the middle cemetery, we paid off that $10,795.99 that you guys approved, so that's on here.
That's the final payment of that?
Yeah.
There'll be little
Well-
dribs and dribbles. But it'll be,
Just regular bills, but from that big one, that's
yeah,
the
it'll
final.
be in the hundreds instead of the,
Yeah.
one more month's worth.
Tens of thousands.
Yeah, instead of tens of thousands, yeah.
So total warrants on page 9, $546,105.06 for the month. And then page 12, her cash balances are in good shape. And then same on page 14 with our expense summaries, we expect to be. And then we got the transfers and the high school, middle school reports. So if you have any questions.
It's a big month.
Yeah.
We thought so as well until I looked at, you go into the items and you look at the insurance and you look at the payment to High Plains, and you take that 16 or 1.6 out. It's actually right in line with most everything. So
Matt, I'll make that motion to approve the.
Second.
All right, Ryan and Curtis. Moved and seconded to approve the financials at $546,105.06. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, no public patron concerns, so we'll move to administrative reports and Dr. Myers.
I'd just like to start off originally with welcoming Dr. Ryan Ruda. It's always becomes a meeting when Dr. Ruda shows up.
7:30 or
Yeah, something like that. I do want to mention a couple things to you. The farm project is coming along. Meetings continue every 2 weeks, just hashing out the specifics, down to the details, how high to set the outlets, that kind of thing. And thank goodness we have people on representing the board who have experience with livestock, because 3 feet, 6 feet, I don't know how high to put them. Our board members know you better put them at 6 feet because goats will eat outlets, come to find out. Did not know that. Now, learn things. We're pretty much finished with the specifics. I think the next meeting, they also talked about and that's for the actual pictures, the drawings, the engineering, the specs. Talked about running the RFP process to bring on a third party group for inspections along the way, which I appreciate that. I mean, because they could have easily said, oh, we'll just inspect it ourselves, but they didn't. That's a nice thing. We are looking, we're not finalized on the heating options at this point. They're bringing some alternative options on how to do the heat itself. It will be radiant heating, but with just how far we want to, far afield within the building we want to put it. This is interesting. We own the land. The land is ours. But in the 1970s, for some odd reason, someone kind of screwed the pooch and did not put in the legal description where the actual barn will be. So, in order to start building on it, that has to be created. This is in the Register of Deeds office. There's really nothing for the district to do besides sit back and wait. Eventually, they'll give us the legal description of that land space itself. Be self-assured, we do own it, though, and that's a good thing. 1970s. I don't know what was going on then, but the soil sample came back. All's well. We can move forward. The proper compression and whatnot was there. And one last thing about the farm update. They talked about where would be a good place for offloading and parking and whatnot during the actual construction. And our local people were able to drop the dime to say, well, you don't want to be north, because if we get any rain whatsoever, it gets super soft. So, but I mention these things to you because of the level of specificity that goes into this. You don't just go out and hey, let's build a barn. Maybe I would. How I'd go about doing it. There's a lot of experience and details that go into it. So we're moving down the pike there. I want to take a moment to celebrate the Longhorn Festival and verbally and publicly thank Wheatland outside of their expert cook. Mr. Curtis Peterson was there cooking. I don't think anybody got sick from the cooking that Mr. Peterson did. But at that night, I think Curtis told me he made over 300 hot dogs and I don't know how many hamburgers, but there were a bunch of people there.
I think it was 500 hamburgers and 300 hot dogs.
Yeah, and so that doesn't mean 800 people were there, but there were a bunch of people. It was a great event. It was a lot of fun, and I was thrilled to bring it back. I don't have the total weight yet on the amount of food that was collected, but it's apropos that the JAG group is here tonight because the food is donated to the school, and then we've chosen to throw it into the Horns for Hope food pantry. And I know they've been quite active this year. So that's a great help. Final thing to talk to you about, in years past, Genesis has reached out to us about doing pop-up vaccination clinics. So they're looking to do it again this year. Of course, this year it'll be more like along the lines of what they've always done, which is the flu, and then offer the COVID as well. That's November 2nd during the career day. So that is the update from me.
All right, let's move to buildings. Tom? All right. Lance, grounds. Transportation, Sam. Food service? Nothing. Mr. Ackerman? All right. Well, we're all good there, so we'll move to principals. Mrs. Albright. Oh, there you go.
That's not really an option. You didn't have time.
Right. This last week, we had Gayla Lofink from the Southwest Service Center come and do some professional learning with our teachers. And our focus was structured literacy that ties on in with the state dyslexia initiative and the science of reading. Our kindergarten and first grade teachers focused on phonological awareness and the sound symbol relationships. And so that includes skills like letter names and sounds and rhyming, segmenting, decoding, blending, all that syllable stuff work that goes into teaching kids how to read. And then our second grade teachers hit on that, but then dug a little deeper because they go into multi-syllable words. Oh, sorry, I'm not close enough. And so they took away quite a bit of ideas and skills that they can work with their kids in their small group lessons and also whole group tier 1 instruction. So it was a really great session, and she brought some creative ideas for us. I also wanted to add, 2 years ago, our first grade team did a school store for their project-based learning, and we have not been able to get that up and running due to COVID and stuff last year. So we now have it up and going, and we had our first store day this last week. So the kids earn dollars in their classroom throughout the day for showing Horns behavior, and they collect their money. And once a month, they get to go shop. And so things that they can buy, little trinkety things that they all love, of course, you know, the little fidgets and slime and Play-Doh and all that. But there are also some big ticket items, coupons they can get, order their favorite Sonic drink, or be the library helper for the day, or an office helper for a few minutes. Door greeters, you know, they can buy certain jobs throughout the building. And a big ticket item worth $700 is they get to pick my hairstyle for the day. Everybody spent their money last week, so I'm pretty safe.
How do we earn those dollars? Just curious.
So they were excited about it, and we're glad to have it up and going. So
I do want to take a moment and talk about that reading aspect of that. Obviously, well, all the academic areas are important to our students and the cognitive skills, but reading is it's the first and foremost amongst them. And it's real easy for us to say, well, just go teach the people how to read. The whole science of reading, it's deep. And you've got the phonicators on one side, you got the whole language people on the other side, and the answer is in the middle there, you know, somewhere. And even though, my own 3 children, the kernels popped at different times, even though they were pretty well taught in the same system coming through. My middle son was basically a non-reader till he was a 3rd grader. Then all of a sudden it started, those symbols on the page made sense, and it caught up with his vocabulary, and he jumped ahead, became a 6th grade reader just within 1 year's time. It's a fascinating thing. And then I'm a high school English teacher by trade. You'd think, well, go teach people how to read. I don't know how to do that. I really don't. So when Amy was talking about all the exact phrase you used, but syllable stuff or something you said, it really is a deep dive into the brain and how it works. I don't know if you want to add anything else to that, but
I mean, yeah, there's a lot of steps that go into it. You know, we don't just teach them the letters and sounds. They have to learn that before any of the other stuff comes along. And so it's pretty in-depth, and so that's where we start over at Wiley. So thank you.
Thank you. All right, Mrs. Tyne.
I will just add on to that a little bit because we also had Gayla Lofink come in and work with Holcomb Elementary School teachers. And so when you move up into the 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade, you look into syllabication, looking at all the different syllable types. And so what she did with our staff was look at the current resource that we're using and see how it is being introduced and kind of analyze some of those words. So it was great work that she did with our staff as well. I also wanted to add in that we recently, on October 6th, had our Walk to School Day and had a great turnout for that. Love that event. I got a good picture. Actually, Mary Rivas got a picture of all of us coming from the park. Basically, what we do is we all meet there about a little bit before 7:30. We started off with some rules and expectations for the short walk to school, and then we did our horns chant a couple of times, so that got us all ready to go. The officers led us down and blocked off the street so that we could walk to school. We put the bike riders in the front, and then we had all of the teachers on the center line and walked to school. It was a great event. We had great participation. The buses all dropped off kids that wanted to participate, and it's a great time. So enjoyed having that event recently.
All right, thank you. All right, Mr. Helton.
Just 2 things for you. One was already in my report. I'd included some walkthrough data for you, which I hadn't done before, but I wanted to share you, kind of give you a glimpse of what's been going on in the classrooms. I think it's a celebration of just the wide array of activities and stuff you can see at the middle school. I think that's fantastic. Another area that our teachers demonstrated growth with walkthroughs was on Bloom's taxonomy. It's rated at 4 different tiers. Anything from level 1 would be note-taking, lecture, to level 4 where they're actually creating project-based learning. And we saw more teachers in the level 2, level 3 element than we had in the spring. So that's some positive growth there. And then I just want to let you know that it's already master schedule time for next year. Talking with Mr. Johnson at the high school and looking, as Miss Albright had mentioned, dyslexia, the state's going to require interventions for that. We've got to wrap our minds around how we're going to be able to provide more comprehensive interventions in English at the middle school. The trick there is that we have so many shared staff with the high school. So being able to offer those interventions and still keep our schedules aligned. So just letting you know that that process is underway.
But I will tell you, and we are advantaged in that we're a year ahead by what the law says. We have to have all the training in place. And with how we've chosen to invest our ESSER monies with the student advocates and then opening up the high school and middle school MTSS, that should help as well. So, and not just with dyslexia, across the board reading instruction, because in the olden days, I'm sorry if you didn't, we just gave our big speech about reading here a little while ago. And back in the olden days, if you didn't get it by your 5th grade, 6th grade year, you'd probably be a non-reader. And that would lead right to dropping out. So not anymore. Not no more. So thank you, Tyler.
Thank you. All right, it's time for Tune Time with Jerry Johnson.
Kicking it with Jerry.
So that was going to be one of the things I talked about.
Oh,
I did
sorry.
not.
Oops.
It's all right. That's how this goes, right? I'm pretty sure I did not come up with the name of it. The kids were the ones, the media kids were the ones that we said, okay. How it came about was they don't read emails. Students don't. They don't read anything written that you give to them. So we're trying to find a way that we can get information to the high school kids in a manner that they would actually look at. So at the beginning of the seminar, we came up with this idea of the media tech kids come down and we film different aspects around the school. Coach Novak and myself are in there, and then we go talk to different teachers. We talk to Monica's been on there talking about doing lunch counts. The office ladies talk about things that they're seeing and procedures need to be a bit better. My favorite part, though, that we've gotten into is the empathy piece. Empathy is a big part that we're really talking about this year, how to treat others. And I don't think we in the schools sometimes don't ever get to really recognize and celebrate the things that are happening with our students and how good our students are. A lot of times we just get to focus on the bad things that everybody else comes, but we have some great kids this year, and it's just popping up all over the place. Mrs. Vinjon sent me a text message, and so we was able to film her talking about her FFA kids. She took a lot of 8th graders plus some high school kids to dairy judging, and we had 3 sponsors from other schools email her and just tell her thank you for the way her kids act and what's helping other kids from other schools without even being asked to. We've had teachers within the school email me and say, listen, this kid was helping this kid without even being asked to, and in such a way that it almost brought a tear to the teacher's eye. We have tons of those all over. So we get to go around and speak out to some of the students about it. We have some JAG members here, and they've been in there as the shout-outs of showing empathy around. So that's why I was bringing it up, because our kids are really good right now, and they really, truly care about each other, which makes a big difference. And we have tons of that out there. Other thing I want to talk about is our fall activities are winding up. We've had some really good years in all of our sports. This is kind of our last week for league events. Volleyball is going to be at home this week for our league tournament. They have I got to say it right, Dig Pink Night tomorrow, which is a big celebration that they put a ton of effort into and the parents do. So it'll be a great night. Come out. We have which is going to be kind of cool because we're going to have all the different games all in one gym. So C team starts at 4, and then we play JV, and then the varsity finishes up tomorrow night. And then we get to host league volleyball also. League cross country is this week. League golf was last week. They had regional girls golf today. I don't believe we had any girls qualify. So then football has about a couple weeks before we start playoffs. So it's crazy how fast it's gone, and we're getting ready for the next one then.
All right. Thanks, Jerry. All right, let's move to unfinished business and new teachers at Wiley and Holcomb Elementary.
Every year we have a new crop of new teachers. Last year we had last month, the middle school, high school teachers were introduced. This month we'll have the elementary. So either one of you can start. Amy, you want to come up?
Okay, so I have 3 new teachers. Christy Crouch. She is teaching kindergarten this year. She was a para for us at Wiley for 2 years previously, so she's got some good experience. She was working with our preschool teacher. And so she's bringing some good ideas into her kindergarten classroom, and she's a wonderful asset for us there at Wiley. Then I have Elena Addison. She is coming to us from Hugoton. This is her 7th year teaching, and she's a first grade teacher for us at Wiley. She brings a wealth of knowledge with her, and so we're very grateful for that, and she's doing some great things in her classroom. And last, I have Olivia Ortega. She's a hometown girl who is in her 1st year teaching, and she's a first grade teacher. She's finishing her teaching degree through the Wichita State TAP program, so the Teacher's Apprentice program. And so she is doing some awesome things with her students, and we're very glad that she joined us as well.
Thank you.
Good job, Peter. Just started clapping for you.
Okay, I have 3 new ones at Holcomb Elementary School. First, we have Bryn Schellenberger. She is teaching 5th grade math and social studies, and she came to us from Little People Land. I think, did you work with preschool and kindergarten? Okay, so she is doing a great job with those 5th graders. No problem going from short to tall, and she's hanging right in there. So we're happy to have her on the 5th grade team. And then I have Kyra Bellows, who is a new 3rd grade teacher, and she comes to us from K-State, correct? And she is doing a great job in her 1st year teaching here at Holcomb Elementary School. And we also have Megan Roth, who was unable to be here tonight because she is coaching one of our volleyball teams in Scott City tonight. But she is teaching 3rd grade as well and doing a great job. So it's kind of nice for the 2 of them as 1st year teachers to have each other to kind of partner up with. And I already see that they, do a great job talking with one another and helping each other out. So we are happy to have all 3 of them at Holcomb Elementary School this year.
It's because they're K-State graduates.
Pretty obvious.
Yes. Oh, and I should say that Megan Roth is a hometown girl as well. And I think something came up on Facebook or something, and wasn't too long ago, and she was one of the players on that volleyball team that she's coaching. So anyway, time flies.
Yes.
And of course, teachers, you're more than welcome to hang around. It gets exciting. It gets better and better as the meeting goes.
We offer extra credit.
Yeah.
And snacks.
And snacks, yeah.
Yeah, we offer snacks.
All right, let's move to bus lane concept.
Sam, if you'll step forward, please. All right, nothing paramount. Nothing is more important to us than the safety and security of our students and our people, our staff, the greater educational community. That's number 1, absolute number 1. When the city fathers chose to build our buildings where they did in such close proximity, maybe we had horse-drawn carriages at the time. I don't know. I can't tell you. But 4 years ago, we started addressing the issue up at the high school, middle school. And if you recall, we put in the 2 loop roads and we put in the gates. And for the better, I think it's a much better system now. I'm not fearful someone's going to get run over. Okay. This area down here, the elementary world, it is a kerfuffle, to say the best. I entered the Dragon's Lair one morning, and that I happened to be at the corner of Henderson and Jones, like at 7:35. And Lance will tell you, you don't want to be at that corner at 7:35. I mean, if it's not all of Holcomb and Garden City at that corner, I think it is. I think they're all there. So this has been going on for a while, of course, and so we've continued to look at different ways. How can we mitigate this and spread out the traffic pattern? Sam mentioned today that, I don't know when it was, but the loop road over here by Wiley was put in. It was not originally there, and that helped. That's helped shoot off the buses in a certain way. Through Amy's leadership, we adjusted the starting time this year over at Wiley to spread it out just a little bit more. If we really, really, really wanted to quote unquote fix it, we'd have to have at least a half hour to 45-minute starting differences. And that would just be a real pain in the behind for the families. You know, where would you house the kids? And then, so then it'd just be a free-for-all. So we are continually looking for possible ways to spread out the flow of traffic when we don't control much of it. I do know the city has a grant they're moving forward on. I thought Mr. Shrivogel shared with me during the Longhorn Festival, a stoplight is coming in over there by Henderson and Jones, right? So that, you know, might help. It'll control the traffic, I guess. A turn lane, dedicated turn lane over here on Main, so people can just get out sooner. Yeah, eastbound. But it still doesn't account for other places where a bottleneck. And if you want to, board, just for fun, tomorrow morning, try to cross the road at 7:35. Or in 7:45, just even worse. Okay. I don't know, months ago, a year or so ago, we were obviously dealing with this, and we came up with an idea, but it got caught up in the shuffle of the playground project and the barn project. Okay, and this is the bus lane concept. And what we're kicking around is this area right out here to the west of us. You know, that's our space. What if we were to put a teardrop drive in, so the buses would come in this way and then go back out and they'd go out on Wiley? Or we put a dedicated lane in coming from Main straight this way into the parking lot, and then they'd go down Wiley as well. This would fix the Wiley issue. And if you've ever, you know, this is bad, but if you go back this way in the morning, you got the buses parked, offloading. Well, the law says if the buses are parked, they have to have the stop sign out. And so all the cars have to stop. So the families who are delivering their kids, they're parked going north. The kids get out of the vehicles and they're basically playing Frogger is what's happening. And my concern is someone who's late will take that center alley and just go zooming through there and just think, well, if I go fast, nobody will notice and I'll get through it. And we'll have an issue, a real issue. That's a problem area. Help me, Randy. That's the third grade drop off? The back way? Yeah, all of them. Oh, okay. Anybody on the bus? Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Sometimes, and we let parents drop off back there too.
Okay.
The front, Main Street gets full and all the parking spots are filled there.
And so if we did have the buses off here, and anybody who's on a bus would get off and just walk down the 5th grade hallway is how that would look. Then back there we could dedicate that doorway to certain people or not. Doorway over here on the far south side to individual people or not. And then the front, the 5th grade entrance. That's basically only 5th grade goes in there. The year ago, who knows what the price would be at this point. Our preliminary numbers at that time were $50,000. I'm not asking for a vote tonight. I'm asking for hey, let's start looking at this a little bit stronger. And or, hopefully kids are fast. Sam, anything to add to this?
I don't think so. You covered
Get up to the mic.
about everything.
Get up to the mic.
It's just the safest thing to do. We kicked around a lot of different ideas, and when you guys that have been here long enough, that when I started, we unloaded on that side of Wiley Elementary, and it was a cluster. I mean, same as this is back here. And when we put that loop road in around the north part of Wiley, nobody said how good it was, but the problems all went away. I mean, it just basically takes the kids out of the equation. The kids are safe. I mean, there's still traffic, yes, but most of it's with the people dropping off kids, but the bus kids that I'm in charge of, they're out of the mix. And I mean, God forbid anything happen, but at that point, there's parents involved and they're making bad decisions where they drop them off and whatnot. If we take them out of traffic, I don't like having this thing right in my face.
Welcome to the club. Mr. Stegeman saying differently though.
So, do you guys have any questions? I mean, we still got to do some situation. If we go forward with this, we got to, there's like some trees involved.
Yeah, well, depending on what we do, yeah.
May have to loop a little bit down here to get the buses all to fit, but I mean, that would take us out of the mix.
I mean, the downside, as I see it, would be we lose some parking spaces out here at certain times of the day. That's a first world problem as far as I'm concerned, and we can park across the way. It's not a problem.
Yeah,
And if we ever have any street issues over here, that's going to be a mess, worse than it is now, if they repave or have to do any plumbing or anything like that.
Is part of the problem the fact that more kids are riding to the school with their parents and not so many of them are on the bus, so there's more car traffic than there used to be?
That is at this time, but as weather changes and sports change, more kids, some ride the bus more now. Some will ride more later when brother and sister aren't going to practice, or, you know, they don't have practice anymore. It's just, there's no rhyme or reason to it.
And Curtis, I don't know if you're alluding to the federal mandate, but initially we saw a slight drop, but they're back on the bus. They're riding the buses again. And
I just think there's more parents that are hauling their kids to school and less are riding the buses.
Yeah.
and I,
And it's more and more all the time, I think. I mean, how far does it go before we quit busing the town kids? You know?
and if we were to, that's the Sam Mesa rule.
No.
Sam Mesa is making the recommendation to the board. No, that would just create more traffic, is what that would create. It'd save us a lot of money, but that's not what we're here about.
Yeah. There's a lot of town kids that still ride the bus.
Well, we learned, 7 routes? We have quite a few.
7 routes, yeah. Average, I don't know, some of them are low, but most of them are averaging around 30 to 40 on each bus.
So there are really, our choices are do something or not do something.
Yeah.
I would like to do something in conjunction with what the city is doing. There's no one single fix here. It's kind of like up there at the middle school, high school. If we'd just done one of those things, we'd say, oh well. But by doing all 3, I think it made a difference. So
One other thing that's coming down the pike, I think, is Garden City Co-op is putting in a loading zone over here.
yeah,
That's
people
just-
out in,
That's just gonna put more truck traffic right on Main Street.
if you're listening to this broadcast, what night is it, President Jones?
1st of October.
Thursday night, the 21st of October, the co-op board will be having a meeting to discuss this. They're talking thousands of extra trucks coming through Holcomb in a given year. Literally thousands, big ones with grain. Matt threw some numbers at me the other day, and I can't remember what they were, but it was a big number. And not only will it be add to our issues, it's going to tear up the roads. I mean, it will just tear them up. And unless 2 extra new, my plan would be put in 2 more roads that cross the railroad track. Well, good luck getting Amtrak to say, sure, do that.
Right.
You know, I mean, so I'm sure it's good for business to put this in, but it will be a mess if this occurs. So Thursday night, the 21st, as a citizen of Holcomb, if you want to go hear your voice, get your chance to speak your voice, the co-op board will be meeting. Where do we know? Where is that?
It's at the Holcomb City Buildings, and I believe it's at 6:30.
All righty. Holcomb City Building, 6:30. I think Curtis will be cooking hamburgers. We'll be there and have a good old time. Anyway, any other questions for Sam?
I think at some point we need to address the parking issue too. I mean, all the teachers basically have to park on Main Street or south of Wiley. We have some land over here by the bus barn. Can we not build a parking lot over there for the teachers to park in and
Sure.
free
yeah,
up the
yeah.
free up the parking on Main Street, and that gives you a lane for those buses to get over, or something maybe. I don't know, but there's
If we can just get
we
things
got
away.
more and more employees all the time, and there's nowhere for them to park except on the street.
Well, and we wouldn't throw a fit if somebody wanted to start parking over there. But it's a function of I don't want to walk that many feet. I mean, just
Yeah.
be honest about it. You know, I'd rather park right here, get in because I'm carrying stuff, and after a long day, I mean, all that.
How
But
about
yeah.
the little lot just southwest of the school here?
We've got a really good idea for that little lot that I'll be talking about in conjunction with Garden City Community College. Really cool. So, and with your tacit approval, I'm going to keep looking at this. And I don't know what else to do besides go out and count cars, but it makes sense to us for the buses to leave onto Henderson or onto Wiley, get off of Main and go to. So either come in and do a teardrop out, or come straight down because they're going to be turning left out of the loop over there, right?
Yeah, well, depending on school times, but we can adjust. I mean, we can go left or right out of Wiley, and we're far enough over here to where we could go left if we had to here. I don't think we could go right on this intersection. I'll have to check on the ruling on that, but here we could do the same thing. We can make it work, however. I just think getting the kids out of the equation is the best thing to do.
Yep.
Thanks, Sam. All right, let's move to the KISA pilot work.
Well, and I'm sorry, one last point to make on that. With the adjustment to our taxes this year, the levies, we're generating more than we've ever generated, in my time, in capital outlay. So the money is there for this particular project with the playground and with the it's called a farm. Thank you. The money is there. So it's not like, and my goal always is to spend fewer dollars than the revenue on a given year. So you're always in the black that way. And that should work. I mean, calculator says it works. So, and you know how I like numbers, right, Curtis?
As long as it's not like the calculator the federal government uses.
Just add zeros,
'Cause
baby.
we-
Just add some zeros.
We can't print money, so.
We can try.
All right, KISA pilot work.
As you well know, we are involved. We finished our accreditation cycle this last year, and we're fully accredited. We celebrated that last month, and we volunteered and got invited to take part in the pilot program, looking to the next cycle. So we took a team of people, teachers, to the on September 20th, to start digging into the various pieces of data that will be taken into account that ultimately will be utilized to build our mechanisms for our growth. Specifically, we looked at some perception data that all of the teachers, the State Department chose. They sent out a perception data survey to the teachers only. I don't know why just the teachers, but dealing with climate, curriculum, instruction, leadership, morale, and whatnot. We spent time digging into that as a system. We gave a little feedback saying it'd be nice if we had this by building, and I do believe I have an email that they were able to crunch it, which is good, because then individual principals can look at that and say, oh, here's, at Holcomb Elementary, they're saying this about morale, but over here, they're saying this. And keep in mind, any 1 year's worth of data, or any one time you do something, it's real material. You don't want to just take that as gospel. You just want to, it's one data point. We also looked at the Kansas Communities That Care survey that 6th, 8th, 10th, and 12th graders all take. It deals with healthy choices, social emotional information, criminal behavior, drugs and alcohol use, just general feeling good within yourself of society type things. Once again, be real careful about saying in a given year that we have all sorts of problems with X, Y, Z. Our classes are small enough that if, I don't know, let's say 10 kids decided to go in that and say, yeah, we use cocaine every day, every hour, well, that's going to skew the data. It just will. So over a 5 to 7 year period, it'll start to give us some real information about how our kids are feeling about things and some of the things they might be doing. And that's not I didn't make that example up. It's a different district, but a different district, very similar size. That was one of the results we got in a given year. So a group of kids had gotten together and said, hey, let's play with the survey this year. I don't know why they cared to, but they did. Then the student management system was the third set of data, which dealt with test scores, attendance, discipline, and whatnot. And so you take all these three different pieces and you pull it together. And where we're headed with this is our next meeting, which is November 11th. Mr. Helton will give a spellbinding presentation to represent USD 363. Ultimately, we'll put all this data together and we'll examine it and figure out what we should be doing to impact the 5 state outcomes. If you recall, that's basically the game anymore. Kindergarten readiness, individual plans of study, social emotional growth, graduation rate, and post-secondary success. So that will inform our future efforts. It's just important for us to keep you apprised of this. There's nothing done at this point besides a lot of prep work. Any questions? Good enough.
All right. Let's move to Wiley Elementary School handbook adjustment.
This is a simple overlook on my part. We need to, if you wouldn't mind, reapprove the Wiley handbook. On page 7, we had a mistake last time. It showed as previously read at 8:15. We want to change to 7:50, and this is when the tardy time. So it's a simple adjustment of time from 8:15 to 7:50, and I'd recommend that you reapprove the Wiley Elementary handbook.
Matt, I'll make that motion for approval.
Okay, Jill,
Second.
Ryan Ruda. Moved and seconded to approve the update to the Wiley Elementary handbook. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? All right, new business, and Sam's coming back up to talk about a bus purchase.
Each year, I mean, once again, we're not a huge district by any means, but we've got a pretty good fleet. And so Sam does a nice job of keeping track of the rotation of that fleet, because our rules and regulations, basically how long you can drive certain things. And then, of course, the pragmatics of, boy, we've had that in a long time. I don't know if we want to have that anymore. One of the laws in Kansas, I don't know, I can't speak to Tennessee or New Mexico or anywhere like that, but in Kansas, school districts cannot drive a bus after it's been on the road for 25 years. Now, let's say it spent 20 years someplace else, and we bought it. We don't get an additional 25 years. We get 5. It's 25 years from the time it rolls off the lot, okay? So we've got a bus that's on its way out. And, you know, as you well know, spending the money today is the exact same as spending it in May. It's the same pocket is what it is. And so we knew coming into the school year that it was time to look at a bus. We need a replacement bus. Sam caught wind of the fact from his contacts in the state that come November 1, buses are going up by $10,000. So that's why this is a little faster pace bringing this to you than what we like to do. But I will tell you, this is one area, kudos to the state, they have figured out how to streamline things and make it good for us as consumers as well. Sam goes into the system, purchasing system, and puts in our specs, and fairly quickly, it spits out prices, right?
As soon as you adjust your specs, the price is there for what changes you make.
Right. And so he put it in, and there's basically 3 different companies who serve Kansas, and it spit out, you know, these different prices. I was very pleased because I was prognosticating this would be like $150,000 or something like that. As it turned out, the best bid, not the lowest bid, and we'll talk about that in a moment, the best bid came in at $131,132. There was one bid lower than that by $20,000. You'd say, well, Scott, what are you doing? I mean, buy that one. Well, then you dig into it and you find out that's without air conditioning. So you got to tack in another $14,000. And then you find out it's from Kansas City, and like Sam talked, it says the drop ship time is not a day, it turns into a week. And so Sam's recommendation to me, and then my recommendation to you, first of all, we should buy a bus, and we should do it at this meeting. Why pay $10,000 extra just for waiting a month? And go with the bid for a Bluebird bus from Kansas Truck in the amount of $131,132. Anything else, Sam?
No, just to reiterate what he said, it seems weird getting a bus for more money, but Kansas Truck is leaps and bounds above I tried to do the competition. We got some Thomas buses, but it's just a whole different ball game. Kansas Truck gives us training. They take care of me parts-wise. They got more knowledge about the buses. It's easier to get parts. There's a slew of different reasons I want to go with them instead of the Thomas bus.
What do we do with the old bus? Does the state have a buyback system? They sell it to a different state? And
Nah, we've
I think
put
we'll
out
go
bids
I think we'll
before,
go to Purple Wave.
but Purple Wave,
Yeah,
we'd
people
had
have
a
success
lot of
doing
luck.
that. Yeah. I mean,
I never have seen the money from those buses we got sold either.
oh, I'm sure it's right.
I don't know where it went.
In your new building, built your new building.
We keep it on the field.
Yeah, that's turf. We turfed a 15-foot by square.
Mike gets a new office chair.
Yeah.
That's about all you get.
Pretty much.
So anyway, I would recommend the purchase of a Bluebird bus from Kansas Truck in the amount of $131,132.
So this is a state purchasing pool. It's already done the bidding process.
Actually, I mean, this is one thing they do really, really well.
Yeah.
Yeah, rather than going to a purchasing co-op per se, the state said, we'll run this.
Yeah.
And you, like you said, you put in the specs and it spits it out.
Good.
So the bus is available,
No, it's 6-month lead time.
everything we normally order with 4, 5, 6 months lead times now got 1.5-year lead
Eh,
times on vehicles.
Very well could be,
so-
Curtis.
But
That's not a promise.
But we're thinking we'll have it by May.
Yeah.
I mean, we need to have it by July.
But we can lock in the price.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. What I'm sitting there worrying about, we have to roll that bus out. How do we get kids to school? You know, we'll tell them to walk to fix their issue over here. No, we're assuming.
Real question is, do we need to order the bus that we need for next year right now at the same time? Because
Well, after this bus, we shouldn't have to, I'm trying to get on a every other year
Yeah, last year we bought vans. This year a bus. Next year will be car.
car,
I mean, that's
bus,
what's-
car.
Sam, I don't know anything about bus sizes, but do we need a 72 passenger if our average route is 30 or 40 kids?
Yes, because our average route is 30 or 40 kids. But between football and basketball, it'll go up 10 to 15 on each bus. And then the newer buses that we get, we normally use for transporting, you know, when the volleyball, when we got the 2 activity buses in use, we use the newest buses to go on the road.
Makes sense. I was just checking.
Little accountant here. I'll make a motion, we buy the new bus.
Second it.
Sean and Jill. Moved
Thank
and
you.
seconded to purchase the Bluebird bus from Kansas Truck for $131,132. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. ESSER 2500 stakeholder feedback. ESSER 3. Seems like we've had about 2,500 of them, though.
You had one of those senior moments.
Every time we turn around, there's a new ESSER.
Yeah, I'm halfway motivated to turn down ESSER 4. Not that we know of any ESSER 4, by the way. All right, this is the participatory portion of the board meeting. In order for us to access the ESSER 3 monies, we have to engage with our stakeholders and say, how do you want us to spend the money? And we've been doing that. I've asked the principals to do that with their site councils. I did it with the district site council summit meeting. I've asked the principals to talk to their students. I mean, we're getting the word out. Well, you as a board, you are stakeholders, believe it or not. Just as a stakeholder, as a board member you are, but you're probably a parent. You probably are a part of the business community. I mean, so you check several boxes for us. The process on this is we have to engage with our stakeholders and say, okay, what ideas would you like to see us invest our monies? Fully well knowing there's only 3 big categories where the money will be approved to go, and not by us, but by the State Department and then the federals. And those that falls into 3 areas: to address loss of learning, to address social emotional supports, and to go into preventative and protective equipment, including if we wanted to do air quality type things, HVAC and whatnot. We have chosen thus far to go to loss of learning, a la summer school last year, and the remote teaching and the homebound instructional liaisons. We've also gone to the social emotional supports with our student advocates. That's their purpose, is to help with that. And we've just not chosen to use this pile of money for the preventative and protective equipment because we had other piles of money, for that. Okay, we're in line to get $1.2 million that has to be expended before September whatever of 2024. So that allows us to continue on with all the positions that we brought in. And as we bring people in, we tell them flat out, this money is gone at this point, unless we really, really prove this is part of our DNA. We really want this. And I'd be pleased if we did. So anyway, the downside, I'm all about transparency and engagement with people, but as you engage with people and say, how would you like us to spend this money? And they give feedback, and they say, an ice cream machine. We say, well, that's a great idea, but no, we can't. We can't do that. Then the feedback sometimes will be, why'd you ask? Okay, but this is part of the process. If we can't show that we've engaged with stakeholders, the application will not be approved. Okay? So I don't need you to throw out 75 ideas tonight, but if you have anything that goes along with the 3 that I've listed here, or whatever floats your boat, ideas from the stakeholders to utilize the ESSER 3 monies over the next 3 years. They don't have to be gone next week. And there's some things you can buy, some things you cannot buy. We cannot buy a bus, cannot put in a road. Things can't put in a playground. Those things don't count. We could do HVAC, but there's a whole process to that, and that 1.2 wouldn't touch it all. So I don't know how. Maybe we can fix the swimming pool. No, I was joking. I was joking. Mike just got.
It's health related.
Yeah, well, it's social emotional. Swimming's good.
Spacesuits?
So I'm curious in the social emotional support arena there, just what has came about there, and I guess secondary to that then as well is, would there be options of looking at after hours types of mental health counseling services, having some wraparound services for after hours?
Yeah, out of school learning opportunities and wraparound services, that fits.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Tyler, Jerry, could you guys speak to the student advocates as far as what they're supposed to be doing and what you're seeing at this point? Your microphone there is hot. You just have to turn it on.
Student advocate position, I think in both buildings, really focus on the ones that we view as, well, not as views, but the ones that are struggling with the learning process right now. It gives the individual supports. So whenever we do our fast bridge testing, or if it's by the when we run the grade reports, they're the ones that target those individuals that aren't being helped through our ESOL services or through our interrelated services. So the ones that are struggling with some of the learning gaps, that's kind of what their targeted interventions are to try to help them out, whether it be helping them schedule-wise, helping them organizational-wise, helping them allowing them more time for pull-outs in order to get some of that work done.
I can't say enough what Miss Martin has done as our student advocate at the middle school. She's doing like the high school is. Their advocate, helping students with learning loss, but she's serving other needs as well. She's helping students with social emotional issues that have come from COVID and continues to happen. So she's been there as a teacher. She's been there as a mentor, as a therapist in some ways. But she is. And she helps us, frankly, with the issues we're currently experiencing with sub shortages. There are times where if she doesn't have an hour, or she has a planned period, or she has an hour with where she doesn't have any pull out at that time, she'll go and cover a class. So it's really she wears multiple hats, and she's doing a tremendous job. We are definitely it was a very sound investment to go with those positions.
I guess the other aspect kind of along that line there, I was more specifically thinking about mental health services after hours in as well. I think we've definitely seen things not only in our region, but just just the ability to be able to have after hours mental health services.
Yeah, the people in general are a little more accelerated than they ever have been. I know I've spoken with you guys individually. Everybody is on a scale from 0 to 10 on their anxiety and how they react to stuff. 0 meaning they're asleep, 10 they're, axe murder, and everything in between. Just generally, me, Scott Myers, I operate about a 3. I'm pretty calm. Pretty calm. No, last year and a half, I'm about a 4.5. And so that, I don't want to go to 5. And what that means is if something comes to I might not deal with it as I normally would have, because I'm just that much more accelerated. And I think, it's in society, you see it. You see it in all sorts of ways that it pops up. I don't know that we could support the food pantry with this money, but that definitely is dealing with social emotional supports. I don't know that they would approve that. Buying food to throw in there. I don't know. But I'm gonna write it down. It'll just hit me.
I know from my experience, I know Esser has different regulations than what we have, even with the college here as well. But I know locally through Genesis and other mental health providers, that would be a sound investment and a good option. It's one that we've put in there just to be able to have 24/7 access there for counselors that are available. Right. Whether it's teletherapy or whatever it may be.
The idea that came out of the Site Council Summit meeting was daycare. So I don't know, maybe. Under the social emotional support thing again, because remember we were messing with that in that playground 2 years ago. So I'm not saying it's a bad idea to engage with people. It's a good idea, but sometimes you get ideas thrown at you. Well, turf the football field. That'll make our kids feel better about themselves and social emotionally. And I'd say no.
Ryan, I don't know how long you had that in place there at the college, but do you have any numbers? Do the kids really use it?
It's escalated pretty significantly in the last year. Yeah, as far as particularly the after hours, we've seen increased use even throughout the day, but that after hours is where we've really seen a large increase in use.
That's good.
And this doesn't have to be the one and only time that you might say, hey, Scott, I was thinking about, because we're not moving down the path super duper fast to do it, fill out the application, but we've got time. But I do need to have this done in time. If we're going to continue forward next summer in the next school year, I've got to pace it to at a certain point. It's about a 6-week turnaround. So I wouldn't mind at all submitting something before Christmas, so. But I do, in the meantime, we also have to reach out to the local tribes, which I don't believe we have any, local civic organizations, and to anyone incarcerated students, which I don't think we have any. And I can't just put on the application, NA. I have to show the efforts we've put forth to reach out to those various groups.
Just go to El Rancho at lunch. That's where all the groups are.
All right.
That's where your civic group's at.
Order at Ron's. I mean, what are some of the other, as far as protective equipment other than HVAC?
That's gloves. It could be hand sanitizer, all that stuff. But we are hand sanitizer rich, baby.
I was gonna say.
I mean, the works that we put forth last year. Tom and Mike, and what we did with the FEMA group, and we're in a good place there. They're there for a while. They're schlepping. What is it, Tom? Black light. You're supposed to put it in the vents. Black light or blue light or something like that. Yeah. UV, yeah. And it's I'm not calling it voodoo medicine or voodoo economics, but there's not a lot of science behind it. Well, that'd work. Well, I'd rather not spend money on something that says, well, that'll work. I mean, let's get some data. And like I said, to actually replace all the HVAC would exceed our numbers that we have. So then you come back and say, well, let's do that one, but not that one. Well, that's not logical, so.
We can't squeeze in a bus to get people
Maybe back
separated,
with
more.
People have tried, and it's been denied. And the exact reasoning you're talking, yeah. Because you have to send it to the KSDE who vets it, and then it has to go to what I call the tribunal, which to me is superfluous. And then after it gets to those two spots, it goes to the state board, who thumbs up, thumbs down it, and then it goes our money to be used, and then the Fed. The big deal is if the federal government 3 years from now says, hey, you can't do that. Supposedly they're going to come back and say, write a check. And so.
Ryan, the service that you were talking about, is that in person? Is that a call-in service? How is that work?
So actually, we actually use it in both manners. So we actually have used Genesis to where we pay for them to come on campus in the evenings and be available, but then they also have services to where they're providing teletherapy after hours in as well. So students, employees, they can call in nights, weekends, over hours. There's teletherapy involved. And then if referrals are needed, then referrals can happen overnight there then as well.
It's something I do want to mention, and I don't think we advertise it well enough. Well, people don't really care about doing their taxes till it's tax season, so they don't really want to learn about, I'm like this as well. As state employees already, as we speak, maybe Robin knows off the top of her head, we all get X number therapy sessions for free, just because we're state employees. Now, that doesn't speak to the kids, but it's just part of the benefits package. And toward mental health, we need to make people aware of that.
Does that apply to school board members as well?
Double.
Yeah.
I've already used your hours.
Great.
And refreshments are given for the board members.
Helps pay for Subway. So you say we have about, 6 weeks?
Yeah, we got time. So as you have those epiphanies, I'd appreciate hearing from you. Appreciate the conversation.
Okay. All right. Next. Okay. Do we have a specific thing for JAG, or are they just here?
Hello, JAG.
Oh, okay. Hope we didn't bore you too bad. Okay.
So what are you guys learning tonight?
You want to be on the board?
Maybe they have ideas for SLP.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Okay.
It's a good question.
Since you're here, I have a question. For your food pantry, like organizations that would have a food drive, do you accept those donations? Yeah. Okay. All right. Great. Thank you.
All right. Next on the agenda is executive session.
Before you go there, this is feedback from people.
Oh, already?
Happens to be my wife. She's listening to our board meeting and her district's board meeting.
Oh,
okay.
Talented.
Your board meeting is more fun to listen to. The blank one is tense, full of angry people. You folks are relaxed and you are funny.
Annette, it's
Thank
all
you.
your husband.
Thank you, Annette.
All
I'm
right.
glad we don't have angry people.
Yeah.
Maybe the JAG members have any ideas on how to spend the district's
How do
money.
you spend $1.2 million?
Better shirts, is that what I see?
Skittle.
The first 30 minutes, like we handed out like 30 boxes, 30, 40 boxes. Like there's a lot of people in the community that need help. So.
And spreading the word.
Yeah, that too.
Why don't y'all get on the mic and say that? Really? Say it.
That spreads the word.
Gotta spread the word.
Yeah.
Everything you just mentioned. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
We're now the JAG spokesman.
Get up right next to it.
Get up and say.
There you go. How could the district, the community, possibly these monies, help support the JAG project toward the Horns for Hope food pantry?
It could help by giving us more money to like provide more food to give out to our community.
We could buy a fridge and start giving out eggs and milk and like meat and stuff.
Yeah, our
Good idea.
freezer.
Good one.
Yeah.
So your name's Tom. Is that wired properly for a refrigerator? It's just 110, right? Okay. And so and you do accept donations from community groups who might be doing their own little.
Yes, we
Food
could
drives.
accept donations anytime.
Okay.
As long as they're non-perishable.
Unless you had a refrigerator,
Yes.
We have that.
That's a good idea.
we'll get you a refrigerator. We can do that.
Deal.
Yeah.
And a freezer.
Talk with Jerry. You know, talk to Tom, talk to Jerry. We'll get a refrigerator.
Tom and Jerry.
Yeah, Tom and Jerry. Talk to Tom and Jerry.
Tom and Jerry.
I've been waiting to use that for months. Finally. Seriously, Linda, get with Tom, get with Jerry, and we can get a refrigerator. Yeah.
Congratulations, you got a refrigerator.
And if you, and truly, if you hadn't said something, I don't know.
Yeah.
Didn't know you needed a refrigerator.
And a freezer, maybe.
I didn't say yes to that.
Well, I. Sheesh.
No, we'll take care of that.
Annette? Okay. All right, next is executive session. 30 minutes?
I believe.
Okay. How about we go into executive session at, let's say, 8:10, to include Dr. Myers and
Mr. Helton.
Mr. Helton. We'll go in at 8:10 for 30 minutes.
I make that motion, Matt.
Okay. Jill and Curtis. Moved and seconded to go into executive session at 8:10 for 30 minutes to include Dr. Myers and Tyler Helton.
And we need to move the executive session to my office.
And we're, to the office. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, we're back in session. Need a motion to go back into executive session at 8:35 or 8:41 for 30 minutes.
Make that motion.
Okay, Casey and Curtis. Moved and second to go back into executive session at 8:41 for 30 minutes. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, we are back in session. I need a motion to approve the supplementals as presented.
So moved.
Ryan Ruda and Curtis. Been moved and seconded to approve the supplementals. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Jill,
Second.
Sean, moved and seconded to adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed?
We are